Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Holly, and I'm here today to help you all prepare for the 3 days of darkness. So, what is the 3 days of darkness? Well, to best describe it, I would like for you to go to the book of Joel in the Bible, and I'm reading from. Well, I'm not going to read it, but um, I have the KJF, the King James Version Bible. So if you go to the book of Joel and you read from chapter 2, 1 to 8, it will tell you what this is and what it's going to entail. If you read Joel, if you want to really prepare yourself, read Joel from the beginning and read the whole thing, because the chapter 1 tells you about the famine people. I've been telling people about the famine, and people are like, oh, that doesn't sound. And you know something, you can see the famine coming. You can see it coming, because if you look around, city for city in the U.S. is closing. It's shut this down, shut that down in the name of whatever. You know, when the votes were going out just before the votes, and that wasn't the reason why they were doing it. You know, because it's still boarded. So what I'm saying to you is that they know what's coming. They know what's coming. And what's coming is famine and this 3 days of darkness. So what I'm doing for you is preparing you for pretty much how to prepare for both. But particularly the 3 days of darkness, because you know the famine, you know, to store up. I've been saying that forever to people, well, on Facebook really. But store up on everything that you can think of, that you're going to need. There's not going to be electricity at certain times, so you need to store up on propane gas and all stuff like this. Okay, if you have a wood burning stove, store up on lots of wood. Okay, so let's go through the prep. First, let me just tell you, read the book of Joel. The famine is in chapter 1. It talks about that. The 3 days of darkness is spoken of in chapter 2. And it tells you 1 to 8 is very pivotal in chapter 2, because it's telling you what's going to happen when the stars is going to be the thick darkness and a gloomy day. And then it talks about what sounds like this military type army that's coming, and they will be climbing on the walls and the buildings and all this stuff. People understand that this is not a usual military people. No, because 8 tells you that they will not be able to be wounded by the sword. That's not really regular military men. Those are the fallen angels, the demonic spirit, the alien demons that are coming, that cannot be wounded by the sword. They can't be wounded by a gun. They can't be chopped up. They can't be blowed up. They can't be nothing of the nature. That's how you know what's coming. Read it very carefully. Don't run through it like oh, that sounds like a military. Read it carefully for understanding. That one line in Joel chapter 2, verse 8 speaks volumes right there. Because the first question you need to ask yourself, what type of military men that can't be wounded by the sword? And when he says sword, he means anything at all. Anything. They can't be wounded. He has deemed them here for that. This is their time. They're coming down to shake the earth, to do this. Okay? Because it's almost the time for Satan and his angels to be locked up. And they're angry. And so, but the Lord God in heaven has allowed this so that to shake people back into what he wants them to be. And so I want you to read this Joel. Start from the 1 and the whole book, because the whole book speaks volumes. The first part talks about the famine. The second part tells you about the 3 days of darkness and these fallen angels, what they're going to do, climbing up these buildings like it's nothing. Okay? Going through, because they're giants, people. Understand that. You know, it's like, and then the rest of Joel tells you what's going to happen after the 3.5 years when God replenishes the food bank. Okay? That's what he's talking about. I will send the rain and this afterwards. First is the gloom and doom where he takes it away, and next is he's going to replenish that. That's after 3.5 years. Don't get that twisted and then think, oh, that's after 1 day. No, that is after 3.5, the first part of the 3.5 at that. Because the worst part of the tribulation is coming after the 30 years. Y'all need to read Daniel, the whole book. Read it. But first read this, Joel. Now, let me get into the prep. The first thing you need to do is, when you're prepping for this 3 days of darkness, excuse me, I'm sweating because it's hot here. Very hot, okay? The first thing you need to do is to cover your windows with blackout blinds during this time. And you don't have to cover it up now. You just put it in place so that when that time comes, you have it in place, and all you got to do is just and bring it down and you're ready. If you don't have the means to get these blackout blinds, well, you can go to the store and get some of those black Glad garbage bags, the large ones, and just kind of roll it up on the bar across where you put your curtains. Take those curtains down, roll it up on those bars going across, and then tack it up. You don't have to put it up now, put it down now. Just tack it up, and then so that when it comes and this 3 days of darkness begins to happen, you know you've already got that in place, and all you got to do is pull it down and tack it or tape it or whatever you can do at the bottom of the window. Okay, that's number one. Number two, store up on foods. This is what I'm doing, I will have a big cooler near my bed, because that's where the Bible tells you to go inside your inner room and lock yourself in. This is the time that he's talking about. And so for me, that's going to be my bedroom, and I'm going to have a cooler, a big cooler for where I'm going to have my drinks, my waters, and such things like that. And then I'm going to have another cooler where I've already prepared in the freezer sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, and all my favorite sandwiches that I like. Not too much meat, probably some tuna, but they're going to be frozen. So you can make those types of things and put it in the freezer for that time. You don't have to wait for the last minute. As a matter of fact, it would make sense not to wait for the last minute to do that. Have sandwiches that you have, put them in freezer bags and put them in the cooler. In the freezer. And then also what you can do is have chopped up carrots and put that in the freezer bag, so you can have that prepared. Steamed broccoli that you can have prepared already, put that in the freezer, so that in that day all you're doing is taking everything that you have prepared, a part of your freezer that is for the 3 days of darkness, where you just take everything out and you put it in that cooler that you will have, that you prepared for yourself. And all types of other little snacks, dried fruits and nuts. I would have juice, because water doesn't replenish you the way juice does. Some juice. Just a lot of those finger things, crackers, peanut butter and jelly. Lots of things like that. And for you, if you have little ones, you would want to have those quick sippy drinks where you can just hand those the drinks. And because I'm going to tell you something, people, it sounds like something easy to do, because I'm making it sound easy, but it's going to be the thick darkness. You won't be able to see anything. That's why I'm saying put it in next to your bed, 2 coolers, so that you can just reach out, touch out, and grab what you need and hand it to yourselves and your kids or whatever. You have to be prepared for that. And you might want to get you some type of a tin box big enough to put those quick lighters in, not matches, because since you will not be able to see to light the candles that you're going to need, these white wax candles, you need the quick lighters that have that little flick that looks like a little gun, and then you can flip that on really quick. You don't have to really have much, when you can feel and touch that really quick and just flick, and that when the sparks come out, you can light your candles. Just make sure you have those things in place, because you are not going to be able to see. You need to, in your mind, tell yourself, how can I do this so that when this happens, I'm not going to be able to see, how I can just reach out and get these things. So the best way to do it is to have these things put together in your bedroom, because you want to be in a place where you can lie down and cover your ears, cover your head, and not hear the craziness that's going on outside your door, because there will be craziness and you're not going to be able to see. And pray that those things don't, your door is the covered door. So you need to be baptized and anointed, saved, and all like that. You definitely do at this time. So what else? I want to say something to van lifers and displaced and homeless people. Excuse me, and people living in their RV and cars and stuff like that, because that's a real thing in these days. Okay. For those people, of course, you are where you are. You have your home is on wheels. That's the first place for those RVers, van lifers, people who live in their cars and stuff like that. So you most of y'all have your cars prepared where you have those blackout things on your window anyway. So when you sleep, you have that, so people won't be able to look in it. So you need to have, most of y'all have coolers or refrigerators. Hopefully you have the kind that if there's no gas or nothing, no energy, your food will stay for a few days, at least for a week, So make sure you just have all that place. The same goes for you as if you're in your home. Same as the people who are in their homes and their apartments. For those van lifers and car dwellers and stuff like that. For the homeless people, I didn't forget about you. For the homeless people and the people who are displaced, and you have really no inside homes. Some of you might have a tent. Go inside your tent and cover your tent so you can't see out. And do the same thing like you would if you were in an apartment. For the people who really don't have any place, what you are going to do is you are going to, in your immediate area, find 3 places where there's food and water where you can run into. That can be a mall, that can be a shopping center, that can be a supermarket. Because at that time when people are running to and fro trying to get home and the stars are falling and that you're going to see that thick darkness melt down, nobody's going to tell you you can't go in there, honey. They're going to be trying to get home. So run in to find 3 places that you choose that you can say, I can run in here and hide here and there. Go and sort places out. Go and, spy out the land that you live, these places, these buildings where you can hide out in and stay for those days. Be proactive about it. And if at all you can have a cooler, one of those on wheels, have that. If you have one, make sure you keep it stored up with water and those quick things that you can eat for at least a week. Okay. Yes, a famine is coming, but in this 3 days of darkness is really 6 days, and the Lord God in heaven says, I will give you 6 troubles. This is the time he's talking about. And on 7, I will save you. So that's going to be about a week. Please, people, do not come out of your place when you hear, Jesus is over there. Jesus will not be over there. Read Matthew 24 when Jesus talks about this time. And he says, do not run to and fro to go see Jesus because he will, me or whatever. He's talking about himself. Do not go. You won't be able to see him there. This is the son of perdition. It talks about that in Matthew 24, about the son of perdition has to happen first before Jesus comes. And I've been telling people this 101 times, on Facebook and YouTube. You don't, for those people, it's the rapture and we're going up. No, it's not that time yet. It's not that time yet. It's not time for the rapture. And if it were the time for the rapture, you don't have to budge out of your place. Because you're just going to rise above. That's it. You don't have to run out and see Jesus. Jesus is going to get you. Don't run out, because first of all, if you saved and you're an elected one because you've kept your temple right and yourself right, you don't have to run anywhere. Jesus is going to just snatch you up on in there. And this is not that time yet. You got years before that gets here. This is going to be the first part of the tribulation, and so don't run out and to the son of perdition, because that is who is going to fool you into thinking that I'm Jesus. This is this man who thinks he's, who he is. I'm not going to describe in this video because he's about to go back into the White House. So and it's not Biden and it's not Trump. So wipe that out your head. Wipe it out. You know who he is because he was president before. And you've seen the news. You saw the papers. You read it, and you saw him and his wife, and that's going to be a true thing. Okay. The closer he gets to it is the closer we get to the 3 days of darkness. That's how you know the 3 days of darkness is coming. Okay? So get ready for it. And the most important thing is, after you have prepped your home and yourselves ready, you're ready for this, people, please don't come out of your place. The enemy is going to try to fool you into people that you know, and thinking that, I'm so and so, because he's supernatural. This is the supernatural. This is the enemy. Don't come out. Don't come out. Just sit yourself still and pray while you're sitting still, and press that Jesus button. Press it. Jesus, Jesus. My life belongs to Jesus. Jesus. Keep pressing it. Jesus, Jesus. Pray the Lord's Prayer. Jesus, Jesus. Keep pressing it. Whatever scriptures there shall be no weapon formed against you. Press Jesus, Jesus. You see what I'm saying? Keep pressing the Jesus button. That is very important at that time. Whenever you feel a fear coming on, Jesus, Jesus. Keep pressing it, people. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. I just wanted to get you prepared up. Just be faithful in that time, people. Don't let the enemy fool you. And just to let you know, it's going to be a scary time. It's not going to be as simple as I'm making it sound. It is going to be a horrible time. There are so many other scriptures that tell you this. It's going to be a horrible time. I'm sorry. I really am sorry, but it has to happen before Jesus gets here. I'm sorry about that. So I love you. Peace and God bless you guys. And stay tuned for the next video. I always hate to say this, but like and subscribe my videos, because this, I'm more for the message than, yeah. So like and subscribe so you can hear other videos, and comment too, okay?